Good evening and welcome to Truth, Health, and Wellness. I'm Lacey Klontz and I'm here with Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John. Hey, y'all.
How are you?
Doing well. How about y'all?
I'm doing good. I'm a little too far forward, I just realized.
I'm too far back. We need to switch.
There we go. There we go. Doing good. Just made a post about our show, and we've had a busy week. Let's see. We went last weekend. We went and visited with the Mennonites and Amish up in Indiana, Michigan. It was wonderful.
I knew that,
awesome.
but I forgot.
Yeah, well, I almost did until just now. But it was wonderful. There's such, I mean, what's cool is how accepting they are of us, because we're kind of like the perverted ones to them, because we do things like carry cell phones and have technology and drive cars and all that. But they really they kind of welcome us with open arms, and it's just so neat. And there's so many cool restaurants, and there is it's the only all-you-can-eat buffet that I like. Right?
Okay.
It's called what?
Das Dutchman Eisenhaus.
Das Dutchman Eisenhaus.
So it's German?
Yeah, well, Dutch and German. The kind of the Amish. That's their thing.
Really?
And it is absolutely fantastic. It's
so good.
Yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily all health food, and even just standard
it's natural
buffet.
though, right?
Oh, it's delicious.
Good.
Yeah, it's natural.
It's pretty nice.
They use butter. They don't use margarine. They use a lot of vegetables and just. There may have or may not have been fried chicken, but yeah, there's a lot of that type of
And
stuff.
organic chicken? Organic fried chicken?
I doubt it. That's another story. But it's amazing, really, and the place is great. We did a lot of we got some kind of new contacts and did a little bit of scoping out of some people that are we actually manufacture and private label supplements for a lot of the Mennonite and Amish stores and that sort of thing. So we enjoy doing that. We love our Mennonite, Amish, and Seventh-day Adventist. We work with them too, and up in Wildwood, Georgia. Technically, it's Georgia, but it's right beside Chattanooga. So it's like you go up 59, you take a right on 24, like you're going to go to Chattanooga, and it's the first exit. It's the last exit in Georgia, first exit before Chattanooga. It's called Wildwood, and it's a colony. It's a group of Seventh-day Adventists. It's like one of their main, and maybe their central office in the United States. But they do all of their missions and a lot of their stuff they do out of that area. And they have a lot of people who come in and live there from out of the country, but they have like this country store, and the country store is like the coolest health food store around. Almost as cool as St. John's.
I was going to say it's not as cool
as
yours.
Well, they're different. They actually specialize a lot in grocery, and they have a lot of produce and grocery, and they were carrying organic groceries before any store in the region was.
And where is this?
It's in Wildwood, Georgia.
Wildwood,
which is really close to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Right.
So, and it's just past Trenton, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful place.
And this is where you wear this?
We passed through there, but they're the Seventh-day Adventists there. We went and saw the Mennonites and the Amish this weekend, and we private label for them, and we do a lot of their some of their manufacturing for them there for their private labels there at the store in the Wildwood. So it's cool. What else have we ran into today? This week? A lot of kidney problems. A lot of people with. A lot of kidney issues, matter of fact. A lot of kidney disease. Had an individual who came in who had a tumor on the side of his head. Size of about probably about 2 fists, and we were the last resort. They came to see us, and thankfully we've already gotten some reports of him doing better as far as how he's feeling, just in general wellness.
Was
that
it
sort of thing.
a cancerous tumor?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're dealing with that. And he's a precious individual. And we had several people with kidney problems. What else?
Lymph node.
Oh, the lymph. Yeah, we had a really good testimonial. What was it that lady was talking about? She had a swollen lymph node, a very large swollen lymph node that was causing a lot of concern, which they normally do. And where was it?
It was in her neck.
Yeah, so like lymph node on her neck. She began taking our lymph cleanse
Doctor's Immune Forte.
The Doctor's Immune Forte, using a salve that we have that's for lymphatic, drainage. Your lymph system throws off toxins and carries off impurities from your glands and organs in your body. And when they get, well, when they become, toxic or cancerous, then it can run, throughout the body. And so people have a lot of issues with their lymph nodes. And of course, a good sign that you're getting sick is when you have swollen lymph nodes in the area or the region where you're getting sick. A lot of times people have swollen lymph nodes here in the neck before they will get like the flu.
Are they swollen right now?
I can't tell, but they probably are a little bit. If you're saying they might be, I used to have, years ago, I used to have constantly swollen lymph nodes in my neck. But this lady did the lymph cleanse, she did the Doctor's Immune Forte, and she did it for how long? 2 weeks?
2 weeks. She was really scared by a physician though, before this happened. So she's been kind of beside herself over it. She's got some, I think, family history of some breast cancer, and they were making her do mammograms, and they were talking about nodules that they're noticing, and so she's really kind of been, stressed out about it, and she was really happy to have some.
Well, she can't even find the swollen lymph node now.
Wow.
I mean, she can't. She's like, it's gone.
Good job,
I was like,
guys.
it's not us. It's the Lord's medicine. It's just a matter of directing
Good
people
job,
to
Jesus.
it. And it's a matter of people being willing and open to doing natural.
Oh, absolutely.
We had it was kind of interesting. We had an election.
We
as
did?
most people know. Yeah, just a few days ago. Some
know about
minor
that.
little election. Yeah, something about mayor or
What?
something. But as a result, somehow we ended up getting RFK. And RFK is an interesting character, and a lot of people are. It's funny. People are like, "What's a pineal gland? Why are we going to decalcify our pineal gland?" And it says, "Okay, so your pineal gland's in your brain." And we talk about the pineal gland. We've done entire almost like episodes of this show on the pineal gland.
The
how-
spiritual gland.
Right, and it's something that gets calcified through fluoridation and through other issues. Fluoride they put in your water, literally in your water, that they can't explain why they put it in the water. And so it's really cool because RFK. I saw a meme, and it was him leaning back in a sofa just casually, and it says, "Yeah, we're going to decalcify that pineal gland for you," or something like that. And I'm like, "Whoa, we're talking about pineal glands now." And of course, I think I read on the air what he said, when he was first, when Trump got elected. So that's really exciting. So we have some good mojo happening, and I think that a lot of your 3- and 4-letter agencies are not exactly very excited. They're a little concerned, a little worried about, some of those jobs and some of that money that they're getting for little to no reason. So we're,
We should do a quick update on the Amazon.
Yes, let's hear it.
Yeah, something really cool happened just yesterday, right? So we had a school. We have a school there in Santa Ana, and it's the primary school, and it's the one where our little Liam that lives on our property there, he goes to.
Wait, you have a school?
Well, in Santa Ana. I mean, I don't have it. It's,
Okay, I was going to say, you guys never told me that. What do you teach? Anyway.
We have taught. We've taught school for 3 years straight, but we're not doing that right now.
Okay.
But we have this little school there. When we went to the school this last time, the teacher was wanting to prepare us a lunch.
Okay.
And that's normally code for we need something, which is fine because they did. And so we go to the lunch. It was delicious, very sweet. She had the kids there. The first thing I noticed was the big picture of Jesus right above the board, the whatever marker board that the school uses. There was Jesus. I said, "When's the last time you guys had a school shooting?" They said, "We've never had a school shooting." I said, "Really? We've had 470 in the United States just since Columbine." It's strange because that's happened since they took Jesus out of our schools. You guys keep Jesus on the billboard of your school, right there above the blackboard, and there's Jesus, and you haven't had a school shooting, and yet illegal firearms are a whole lot easier to get in Peru than they are in the United States. So go figure. Maybe it's not a gun problem, but a lack of Jesus issue. But anyway, so they were needing
Heart problem.
Exactly. And so at this school, they had a solar system at one time, and in the village of Santa Ana, there's no power. They have to use solar or other means, generators, whatnot. And so the school obviously needs some technology. They have, all their little peripherals and their little devices and whatnot. And so the solar system started kind of, falling apart that they had. They needed a copier because the little teacher, God bless her, she had to get in a boat and travel an hour and 30 minutes to Iquitos, the city, every week, just for copies, just to make copies for the kids for their little assignments and everything.
Wow.
So they needed a copier and they needed a solar system. And so we were able to work and kind of pool resources, and we were able yesterday, Santos and the installer, and they all went and they picked up all the equipment in Iquitos, took it by boat up the Amazon River and out another, which was 3 hours worth of water travel.
Wow.
They bring it to the school. They go up to the roof of the school. They installed it. We're going to put pictures and everything up because they took video and pictures. They installed the whole solar system. Everything worked perfect. The copier's working great. The lady was taking her phone and she was laying it on the copier, just amazed how easily she could, transfer and make copies. And so that was something really cool that happened just yesterday.
That's awesome.
In the Amazon. So the little school there, they have their solar system and whatnot. And we're working right now. We're super excited because there's another school in Belen, which is a very heavily populated, extremely poor part of the of this region. And the kids there, they have to, half the year they go to school in boats because it's flooded, and so it floods. And so, and there's a ton of child trafficking, all kind of issues. We've been working with this school in Belen to help them with a few things, but what they call New Belen is where they're moving a lot of the residents out of Old Belen where it floods, and they're moving them to this new area and kind of like made a little community for them. So the government kind of facilitated this, but then the government just hired subcontractors. So the government hired subcontractors to build the schools. So they go in, they slap the schools up with the cheapest garbage that you can build with. And so in 4 years after they build this school, the floors are rotting out and falling, and kids are like falling through the floors. We went in and there were stray dogs hiding things under the floor. Like food to save for later. It was pitiful.
That's sad.
And the building was only 4 years old. But what it amounted to, some contractor pocketed the money for the good boards, and they used cheap boards. And you can't use cheap boards in the Amazon jungle. So they need new boards. They need how many? Like 300 new boards?
Or 600, I can't
So
remember.
600 new was a lot of money, and so we're actually having a raffle. I've been told on Facebook to call it a waffle, and this. This raffle, I had a cop friend be like, "Hey, buddy, you got to call that a waffle," and I'm like, "Thanks." So the deal is, we're a nonprofit, so it's not like it's not like we're. But anyway, so we're having a raffle, and what we're doing with the funds for this raffle is we're going to be replacing all the boards in the school, replacing their floors, and throwing them a anniversary celebration after we get everything together for them. So we're super excited about that, and we've started the raffle yesterday, and it's going really well.
We have a goal of $900.
That's it.
Okay.
To do the project, and the parents are going to do all of the labor themselves.
You couldn't replace the floors of an American school for like $900.
I know.
Except there are about 5 contractors who live in the neighborhood whose kids go to school there, so they're going to do the free labor. And so the labor's free, and materials are very cheap, or I should say they're inexpensive in the Amazon. So $900, and that's a lot of wood for $900.
Right.
But anyway, so we're excited about that, and our prizes that we're given are what?
Well, there's the grand prize is a $100 gift certificate to St. John's Nutrition. Then we've got a lot of other little doodads, like an Amazon goodie
bag,
a handmade deodorant and toothpaste from our Crunchy Lady friend, and several other things, some honey.
We're going to be having drawings before the big drawing, and we're going to put the people's names back.
Okay.
So that we're going to be giving away a lot of Amazon stuff and everything while we're waiting for the larger drawing. I don't think it's going to take very long, so we're excited about that.
Well, after one day, we're at, I think, 245 of our $900 goal.
Congratulations.
After a day, so that's pretty cool. So we're excited about that, to help out with the school there, and we're really looking forward to getting back. And have a friend named Joe from Oklahoma we met last time we were there, and we were super excited because he's going to go stay at our cabin, come to find out, for Christmas for a couple of weeks down there, and and he looks like Santa Claus. He weighs 300 pounds and has a big beard. So we're gonna have a good time. He's gonna be there and do the whole Christmas thing, and we're gonna bring in kids from other villages and stuff. So we're excited about that.
Santa Claus is coming to the Amazon, and we will be right back after this break. Stay with us.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
Hi everybody, I'm Eli Gold, and I want to invite you to tune in to Jack State Live, a look at the campus and athletic department at Jack State, followed by the Coach Rich Rod Show, where we will break down and preview the next football game for the Gamecocks.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
Penguins Bar and Grill. Come down for our amazing bar, stocked with everything you could want, and our amazing food, ranging from whole pizzas all the way to oysters. Our food is cooked fresh and brought to you with amazing service. For the best food and drinks, come to Penguins Bar and Grill.
Welcome back to Truth, Health, and Wellness. I'm Lacey Klontz with Matt and Deborah St. John. Now, before the break, we were talking about the raffle drawing that you guys are having. Now, how can people enter?
They can call St. John's. They can just
Okay.
call us at 256-835-9588. They can go on Facebook. We do a lot on Facebook. I wish we didn't do so much on Facebook, but we do. And they go on Facebook and go to St. John's Nutrition there and
Okay.
line it up there. Or they can just come in the shop
Okay.
and do it there. I want to give a quick shout out to Jan Pierre in Iquitos, Peru, who's watching right now. Hey, Gene, looking forward to getting back down there at least by January. I got some good news though about Santa Claus coming. A guy named Joe is going to be coming to town, and I'm going to talk to you about that. It's just really cool stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I believe we have a question
Okay.
from an audience member. Someone asked, are there some genes in my body that causes a person to have a stroke? And would I be able to feel this coming ahead of time?
What they're talking about is kind of a hereditary predisposition to cardiovascular problems. And there can be. Unfortunately, I think most people want to blame heredity. They'll say, oh, my dad had a heart attack and my granddad had a heart attack. And then you start looking at their lifestyle factors. Well, my dad ate
Gotcha.
pork and smoked cigarettes, and my granddad ate pork and smoked cigarettes, and they had stressful lives, and et cetera, et cetera. So you start researching and you realize that the hereditary issue is not really as much of the culprit as
Right.
the fact that they've been consuming starches and sugars and processed foods and preservatives and all of these different forms of garbage that we put in our bodies, toxic garbage that we eat from the grocery store, and we get very polluted. And so part of what happens there is we end up with arterial plaque. You end up with arterial plaque, and your veins and your arteries don't have good blood flow, and so as a result, you end up throwing clots, potentially. And so we need good circulation. There's certain things. I tell you a really quick, easy secret that a lot of folks should know about is beetroot. Beetroot juice in particular,
We've
or
talked
beet
about
juice.
that
Is
before, I
really
think.
good. We've talked about it several times about increasing nitric oxide levels. And when you increase the nitric oxide level, it takes your artery or your vein and goes from here to like this, and you have free flow, better flow in your veins. And when you consume beetroot juice, they say within 5 minutes you actually have that boost of nitric oxide, which normally it goes right along with a decreased blood pressure, and so your body just immediately responds favorably to it. So yeah, there are several things that could cause someone to have a propensity for cholesterol and issues and blood pressure, cardiac issues. But a lot of folks think that going on a statin drug or reducing their dietary cholesterol is going to make them healthy as far as their heart, and that's simply not the case. Most people have heart problems as a result of inflammation, and it's not necessarily like dietary cholesterol. There's so many people right now going on what they call it, the carnivore diet, that if consuming that much meat, protein, fat, etc., were that detrimental to cardiovascular or to cholesterol levels, we'll have a lot of people dying in the next 2 or 3 years. Just stroking out. And I don't see those people stroking out. I see them getting better and better and better as far as their health. So there is something too. Now I don't agree with a totally carnivore diet. I believe we need vegetables. We need our immune system. Obviously, we need fiber. We need things moving. And so I'm not advocating a carnivore diet. However, it is interesting that people on carnivore diets don't end up with high cholesterol, and all they do is eat cholesterol and a bunch of protein.
Right.
So it's that means that we're onto something in cardiology when you're talking about. It's the inflammation, and it's really the inflammation throughout our bodies. Right now, actually, Deborah and I are very inflamed. She's dealing with a pinched nerve issue. We've slept in a camper van all weekend. We literally we drove like 30 hours in 3 days, or something insane
I'm sorry,
like that.
what?
Yeah, like 30 hours in 4 days, or
Where
something like that.
did you go?
We went all the way up to the top, up to Michigan. Yeah, driving.
Wow.
And so we haven't really stopped. And as a result of that, I'm feeling, you can kind of feel chronic inflammation, like when your rings don't fit very well, when things are a little tight, you're puffy, you're like, am I pregnant? But it's like, and we know neither one of us are. And so.
You're not?
Pretty sure. It better not be. And so there's not an herb for that. But with her pinched nerve, we've been dealing with these issues of inflammation, and we're going to be eating more curcumin or turmeric. We're going to be doing several things to help reduce that inflammation, and beetroot juice is one of them. I have a glass every morning. She fixes me. I think it's about like half beetroot juice, half orange juice. Is that what you do?
A little more beetroot, a little less orange.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I don't like beets. I hate the way they taste.
I've never tried them, nor do I want to.
Well, just imagine taking a big sip of blood and dirt. I've just sold the world.
That sounds a lot worse than it is.
When you said
Bloody
it like
dirt.
that.
Bloody dirt. That's what
It is
beets
very
are.
red, but it doesn't necessarily. It does taste a little like dirt.
And bloody dirt. Yeah.
Bloody dirt. That sounds like an adult beverage or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Or like a Halloween
that's the
drink.
new liquid death. It's the
Yeah.
best water around, really. Yeah. What's Death Wish coffee? Organic coffee.
I've looked into that. I've never tried it.
Death Wish coffee is actually
pretty
great.
good.
You would recommend it?
Well, here's the deal.
It's doctor recommended.
Well, here's the deal. Death Wish coffee is available at Walmart and in chain stores where they really don't carry any other real organic coffee. So the fact it says death, I don't know why they say Death Wish. It's stupid. It's a dumb name. But anyway, they're not too dumb because they made a deal with Walmart, and so they've got their stuff all over the country. But the stuff's really good. It's
pretty good.
It's pretty good coffee.
I've heard that brand has, of all the coffees out there, it's one of the ones that has the most caffeine content.
It is.
Is that true?
Well, it's interesting. When you look at coffee in the caffeine content, most of the best fine coffees have higher caffeine contents only because they actually have active ingredients. So
Interesting.
Yeah, like in South America, we have a form of tobacco called mapacho, which is tobacco Nicotiana rustica, rather than the Virginia tobacco that's used across the rest of basically the world, the entire world. What's interesting with the mapacho is that it's 10 times stronger in nicotine than regular Virginia tobacco. And you would think, oh, that means it's horrible tobacco, right? It will just kill people left and right, and they'll be dying in the streets from it. No, what's strange is that mapacho has a ton of cited literature that shows that it's effective medicinally as a therapeutic aid to several things. So they use it medicinally down in South America. It has 10 times the amount of nicotine, but what it amounts to is it's just better. It just has more active. It has more active components other than just nicotine. So they'll actually use it. They use it in something called rape, which is a snuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait till a shaman blows rapé up your nose a couple of times, and
Oh.
that'll change your life.
I'm
Fernando
sure.
was the shaman who first blew. I made him shake my hand because I didn't figure we need to get that close until until we at least shook hands.
Oh,
and
my
so,
goodness.
it was very. It's really amazing what that stuff can do. But the same with coffee. Now, what's interesting with Death Wish coffee is they'll sell it, and if you look at the fine print, it's more expensive than the other coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also has 4 ounces less than the other coffees. Coffee is normally sold in 16 ounce or 1 pound bags, right?
Right.
Okay, theirs is a 12 ounce bag, and it costs like about $5 more than the other 1 pound coffees. That's what they're doing. But it's actually decent coffee instead of the garbage. I mean, literally most everything that you'll find at the grocery store is garbage. It's hard for me to even go to a grocery store. The other day I had to run in Food City in Gadsden, Alabama. I walked in, I felt like, I don't know, like a preacher in a bad place. That's what I did. I'm wanting to run through the place, knocking things off the shelves, kicking things, destroying things, burning things. If you ever hear me getting locked up, that probably happened because
you rioted through a grocery
just burn the whole place down. I mean,
It's
absolutely.
not organic.
Yeah.
What?
And what's interesting is my dad was actually in the grocery business for like 35 years.
Oh, wow.
So that my life was provided for by but back then, Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street didn't own the grocery stores. The brands that the grocery stores sold weren't the same companies as the grocery store itself. And the drug companies weren't owned by the same brands back then that, are the food companies are owned by. So literally the grocery stores, they have a job. Their job, and I'm not talking about independently owned grocery stores or health food grocery stores, whatever. Average grocery stores like Food City and all these other chains, they're owned by these Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street companies. They sell brands, every brand they sell, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard companies. Then they get you sick with the Yellow 5, the Red 40, the MSG, the high fructose corn syrup, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then you go to the doctor. Then the doctor writes you a prescription that will be from companies like Merck or Pfizer or et cetera, et cetera. And those companies just happen to be owned, these pharmaceutical companies happen to be owned by the same companies that own the grocery store.
It's the circle of life.
It's the circle of death,
circle
what
of
it is.
death, yeah.
It's a circle of sickness. And that's why people are sick.
Yeah.
And so, when I
makes sense.
tell our friends down in South America, down in Peru, Jan Pierre watching, don't eat like a gringo. Stop eating like us. Don't live like us. Don't eat.
We're bad.
We eat bad. We have been literally poisoned. And the sicknesses now that we have, the sicknesses they have dengue and malaria, COVID, viruses, bacteria, bacterial infections. Here we have, sleep apnea,
Heart disease.
7 different types of heart disease, myocarditis, pericarditis.
7 different types of anxiety.
27 different types of anxiety. Don't forget about the fibromyalgia, and, MTHFR gene mutation. How about the PFAs in the water? In other words, all these things that we have now that we're dealing with chronically, they're not parasites, viruses, and bacterium anymore. These are industrialized countries that are poisoning their people because of corporate America and because of greed and because of crooked politicians and because of all these different agencies that are allowing it to happen. You have to separate yourself from that. And to separate yourself from that, all you have to do is just focus on caring about your health. You don't have to become a nut overnight. You can, slowly become a nut, but you can, a health nut. You can slowly just start incorporating good lifestyle practices and say, hey, I mean, that's what happened. I went to the health food store so many times, they literally hired me. It wasn't like, I need a job or, hey, would you like a job? It's like, listen, you're in here all the time and you need a discount.
Yeah, you might as well get paid while you're here.
I'm like, you may as well, that's what it amounted to. And so that's how it started for me. And so a lot of people are getting into health and wellness. They get overwhelmed and they think they're supposed to know everything immediately. And it's not. It's just, you'll never know everything. Matter of fact, the people that claim to know everything, you need to run from them as fast as you can. But you'll never, ever stop learning. And I mean, we learned today. And so it's an amazing world, and it's something I think that's going to be getting better and better as politics change, as the economy changes, and as people's minds and hearts change.
Yes, absolutely. Well, on that note, that is all the time we have for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be right here next week here on Truth, Health, and Wellness. I'm Lacey Klontz with Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John. Have a great night.